Well, I have made a wonderful mistake. Went through like 2 weeks coming into this race. Talked about how at the end of Jeddah, I started to feel like I was getting a better feel for the car. We had three different upgrades come in after that race, leading into this one. We did have our beam wing fail, which sucks because I really wanted that extra rear end downforce for this race because I struggle in the start, like the first sector of Australia here. But I forgot to hit record. I spent probably at least 20 minutes going through the menus and the R&D and the standings, which by the way are not good from our perspective at Kingdom Racing. We're the last team, and both me and Teo are last in the drivers. So, not ideal. Looking to change that now. As you see, we don't have many points as we did look at purchasing some upgrades since we had some complete. We also had to spend some to put back into that our beam wing for our rear downforce. But if you look here, we have managed to create the slightest little gap to AlphaTauri heading into the race. So that is good. We're actually going into a race ahead of another team. And we're pretty much neck and neck with there's just a slight disadvantage behind Williams and Alfa Romeo. But it's just super close. Like the difference of a minor upgrade. Like basically, if our beam wing comes in, we're probably ahead of both of them. But that happens. As you see, we got our beam wing. We got some wing mirrors to help with some drag reduction. And then we had a big 33% discount on our rear floor under tray. So we decided, well, might as well take advantage of that. It was only like 300, and so a little over 300 R&D points. So it made sense. It wasn't a big, huge gap that it create, but I guess I can show you here. If we go into our chassis, it's actually not a terrible upgrade, but our chassis is terrible, brutal. So that's something we're gonna have to focus on for sure. But there. So we can see we had a downforce, a chassis, durability, and an engine upgrade all come in, but our beam wing did fail just a few days before we come to the race weekend here. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but overall 4 out of 5, I can't be too mad about that because it could have been 4 out of 5 failures. So we got 4 to come in. We're starting to get a little excited. Some kind of performance from the car, I hope, here. And let's get our practice done. So we got 14 out of 15 in our practice there. Yeah, if you haven't seen Jeddah yet, it was a wild one. It was a bit of a emotional roller coaster early on, that's for sure. At least it was for me. I'm gonna go out, just try to set a basic lap, and from there I'll try to improve. But I want to at least get a lap in this time before I push myself too hard. Oh my gosh. Great start already. Bumpy straight. fastest lap. Dang it, Nico. Struggling with the brakes in some of these corners. Like this one. Not confident with my brakes right now. We're gonna get a second set ready because I'm gonna have to go out again, and I don't expect to make Q3, so I might as well use an extra set trying to get a good time, but wait for a little bit of clear air on the track again. Let these guys warm it up. Alright, track's a bit clear. Let the other drivers warm it up a bit for us. Let them do the work. Hopefully we can benefit. I take this one a little easy so I don't go on the grass like the last one. Get a steady launch out of that corner. Definitely not feeling my brakes. Not confident in them at all at the moment. Don't know my range.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
It was looking pretty bad for me for a sec there. It was like halfway through the lap and I was like really not gaining anything, and it was just not what I was looking for.
That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're okay.
So after all of that, we just fell short. We would have actually made it too if we didn't total our car after our second lap. Shoot. Well, it's good to know the pace was there. And now, before we go into the race, that is supposed to be rainy. Keep in mind. I struggle enough. I don't need this. But let's head over to our R&D. We got some points. I think I want to go with the ignition system. It gives us the biggest boost. I think it'll give us a bit more of an edge once that's finally in. Because everyone's really tight right now. And really only the Ferrari cars have anything over anyone else. So I think that's the way we're gonna go. Which leaves us with 500. So we're gonna sneak in a turbo improved materials, since we got brutal durability. We've been lucky though, we haven't had a issue really. So holy, as we look at the pre-race report, it is gonna be wet, not intermediates, like soaked. So I think we gotta have the main objective for this race just to keep the car on the road. Because if there's anything like real life, there's probably gonna be some off circuits, some just lack of traction. So if we can try to do what we can, maybe we can benefit from some other mistakes.
Well, once upon a time, this used to be the season opener before it fell victim to a pandemic reshuffling. But now Albert Park is back at the heart of the F1 calendar, so welcome to sun-kissed Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. We're a stone's throw from the enormous Port Phillip Bay for today's race at the 3.28-mile Albert Park circuit. It's a bumpy racing surface here, and the 14 corners could prove especially difficult in the wet conditions. So watch out for a safety car at some point during this Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Ocon, Norris, Stroll, Tsunoda, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Oscar Piastri, King, Magnussen, Albon, Théo Pourchaire, De Vries, Sargent, De Vries. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Natalie Pinkham, good to have you with us here today. Your thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, I'm looking forward to staying dry here in the commentary box. Thank goodness. The rain, though, does add an extra level of spice, doesn't it?
I know I said didn't want to do my downforce up, but I didn't realize it was going to be this wet. It's storming. It'll be easy. Place in line here. Whoa! Oh my god, this is ridiculously wet. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh, whoever's in. Thank you, Bottas, for being so generous. I took that way too hot. Now I'm making mistakes. Settle in, calm down. Find a groove in this wet. Get her going.
Let's focus now for the rest of the race.
Wait, we're in 12th? Holy cow. Whoa!
Okay, clear. Okay, mate, we might need to look at a new race strategy after that. I've got some options for you, so go and check your MFD. Safety car, no overtaking, reduce your pace.
Gosh,
Keep your delta number positive as we form up. The safety car's out. We need you to reduce your pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track. Be careful.
I'm stuck.
Okay, black flag, we're out of the race.
It was a magnificent drive right out of the top draw. Take a win for Red Bull today. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I love it when you go into a race day with no data from the weekend to fall back on. It's a real step into the unknown. Planning goes entirely out of the window.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here. So let's review the updated driver standings. The gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Often, my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improve their position in the championship. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Well, it's nice to see Teo got up to 18th. My hopes of having no one on our team in the basement didn't come true. So we made a mistake and had a rear end step out on us. We hit the wall, broke our front wing. There's a gap in traffic, so I tried to reverse out quickly. But I got going so fast and I couldn't get the car stopped. Ended up backing into a wall, breaking my rear wing. Then as I tried to pull forward, I got stuck on a curb. And then since I was stuck and couldn't move, I got disqualified for parking in a dangerous spot. So the racing material on this one is going to be minimal, I guess. As we got 4 laps. Track condition was ruthless. And yeah, I don't even know. This is bad. Mainly talking about myself. Well, unfortunately, that's going to be it for this rather quick episode, I guess. As we just talked about, unfortunately, only got, I think, 4 laps. Disqualified. Had to try to drive track conditions that were so hard with a car that is already hard to drive. And it's just not a good combo, especially for me to still try to figure this out. I thought we made a step towards the end of Jeddah while we were in a lot of clean air, but I don't know. Maybe I take this with a grain of salt just because of how wet it was. It was like storming the whole time pretty much. So, yeah. But if you liked, please leave a like. If you liked it so much that you want to stay tuned for what happens, and then if I can actually, figure myself out, maybe eventually fight for a championship, feel free to hit that subscribe button with that notification bell. Stay tuned and updated for future releases of the series. But that is going to be it for today, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
3, 2, 1, 0.